started taking improv classes begrudgingly. I really didn't want to take improv classes, but then enough people told me that it would be a great way to harness my chaotic energy. And that's not the words I use, but I can read between the lines. And now I'm fully in comedy, and it feels like home to me.
Hi, Ego. Thank you for hanging out with me today.
Of course. Nice to see you, Kaila.
Nice to see you too. I like how we're serving up like opposite vibes. I got like the moody thing going on, and you have like the nice natural light aesthetic.
Thank you. I did have that thought. I go, okay, she's wearing black, I'm wearing white. And the plants hanging in the back. We didn't plan this. It looks good.
Yes, it looks very good. Well, Ego, you are one of the newest members of the cast of SNL, serving us all kinds of Black girl magic, which is just so incredible. Can you talk a little bit about where you started and your journey to SNL?
Yeah, I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, and I am the youngest of four, first generation Nigerian. And so it's sort of well known, I feel at this point, that Nigerians sort of expect their children to be doctors. And so I wanted to act, and I knew I wanted to act. I didn't know how to make it happen, but I for sure knew that I had to get to Los Angeles because that's where the TV and film magic happens. So I got really good grades, scored well on my SAT. I got into my dream school. I got into USC and told my family I would major in biology, be pre-med, if they let me go to college across the country where I knew no one, because I had to get to Los Angeles. So I held up my end of that deal. I majored in biology. I have a degree in biology. While I was in Los Angeles, I started taking improv classes begrudgingly. I really didn't want to take improv classes because I felt like agents and managers at a point were sort of giving young actors busy work, and I'm sort of a rebellious soul. So I was like, well, I got the headshots. I did this, I took that commercial class, and now I have to take an improv class. I'm like, no. But then enough people told me I should, and that it would be a great way to harness my chaotic energy. And that's not the words I use, but I can read between the lines. I could take a hint. And so I started taking improv. In 2012, I took my first improv class. I was confident it was going to be my only improv class. It was simply to get these people off my case. And I fell in love like a dummy and fell in love. And from there, I started doing sketch comedy. And now I'm fully in comedy. And it feels like home to me. And it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. You need that energy in sketch comedy. So to all the haters, like, look at me now. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. That is all I'm going to say.
Right.
I remember when you told me I was too energetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, look at me now.
1 year inside, and I tried, but I'm loco.
I love your music sketches. The loco and the bottom of your face. You're rapping side by side with Megan Thee Stallion.
We could tease them all day, but let's give them what they.
I need to know, are you doing music on the side? Like, what is
No! Oh my gosh. Okay, so I love hip hop so much. And I've said the thing that I don't think people assume about me. But I really, really love hip hop, to the point I did a presentation in college in one of my general education courses about the history of hip hop. We got to pick our topic, anything we were interested in, and I did mine on the history of hip hop. My freshman year of college, I really was not having fun with my biology major because it wasn't what I'm meant to do. And science isn't my thing. I believe in it, but I want to leave it to people who are passionate about it. But freshman year was listening to mixtapes all the time, all day long. I was so passionate about knowing who the next hot new artists are. So I felt for a moment, for a month during my freshman year of college, I was like, I kind of want to be an A&R. I feel like I could discover talent and I know. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, no, you don't. But I want to perform. But no, I'm not doing music on the side, but it's something I'm really passionate about as a consumer of it. So I feel like all of those months and weeks and honestly years of just listening to hip hop and being so in tune with who the new artists are and listening to their verses and being so intent about listening to lyrics has sort of also paid off full circle. Because I used to feel like a thing I did as purely a hobby, and it still is, but it's kind of cool to see it manifest and impact my work now. And so that's where I get the bars from.
Okay, because you got him.
Thank you so much.
I think these are low-key bops.
Yeah, and Chris Red, who I work with, he's really passionate about doing music, and we write together a lot of the music. But for Loco, I wrote that one with Will Steven and Gary Richardson, and Bottom of Your Face, I wrote that with Chris. But yeah, it's been so much fun. The music is so fun.
Yeah, I agree. And another one was the Cha-Cha Slide sketch.
Now shoot them dice. Now roll them 70s.
It felt like a family reunion when I was watching it, especially when those ad-libs kept getting thrown in.
Now pull out the church fan and wave that band.
Church fan? I didn't bring a church fan.
Oh, I have an extra.
Brian Tucker wrote that one. I got to do it with John Mulaney, who is always so gracious and lovely to me every time he comes to the show, and he's so fun for me to work with. And yeah, that was a highlight of my first season for sure at the show.
For sure. Beyonce 1.
Yeah.
Beyonce 2.
And he just knew what it was. He knew what it was. And my ass was like, so what? Yeah. So fun.
Love it. What is one of the most challenging things about sketch comedy that somebody may not know?
Staying inspired, certainly during a pandemic, is challenging because, a lot of inspiration comes from people watching or being in situations ourselves that then we are inspired to write. So as of late is, I would say, staying inspired when it seems that the days kind of are blending together because of, things being locked down.
Mm-hmm.
And so feeling inspired in the midst of like sort of monotony is challenging.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. And, I hear that directing is a long-term goal of yours. Is that something you're still pursuing? And what type of projects would you want to be working on in the future?
Somebody's doing their research. Okay, Kaila. Okay. I like that. At my current job, what's really fascinating about it is that if you are open to it, if you are open to being present and soaking it all in, you are gaining skills that will only serve you in the future. Mm-hmm. And so I never intended to learn how to produce a sketch, but when I write at the show and I write some of my sketches and it gets chosen, you have to learn how to produce it. And if you want your sketch to succeed, which everyone does, you get really meticulous about what hair people have and what the set looks like. And can we change this and that? And even like getting to learn and hear Lauren give notes on sketches. So as far as directing goes, that's absolutely a long-term goal of mine. I'd love to direct comedy as it is, I feel, my forte, but I am really passionate about slice of life stories. And what I think is that life is the perfect combination, if you're fortunate, of drama and comedy. And so I feel if I had the opportunity to direct some dramedies, things that really just reflect life, because I think life is dramedy. So like the pieces that reflect life, that would be really exciting for me. And as far as the pieces I want to get behind, I also want to be an executive producer at some point because I'm really passionate about, this is where I tie my desire to be a tastemaker and the A&R of it comes together. I'm passionate about getting behind young talent. I'm still fairly young in my career in a sense, but like young talent whose stories haven't been told. So like from marginalized communities or, people of color, women, differently abled people, I would love to have my name be on their projects, and just by virtue of my name being on their projects, like help get it made and get those stories told. So, yeah.
Yeah. I love that. We need more Black women behind the camera, working the magic. So I fully support you, and I'm speaking that over your life. It's going to happen.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, speaking of dramedy, you said life is dramedy. Are there any current dramas on TV that you'd like to see rebooted into a comedy?
One of my favorites is from recent years is Big Little Lies. And if I could see like a caricature version of that show, I felt that show was so, especially the first season, so through and through good. This is not customary for me, but I've watched that first season like 3 times. That is not normal for me because my attention span is poo-poo. But I would love to do like a comedic reboot of that.
I was watching that while I was getting my hair braided one time, and I didn't even realize. I was like, "Oh, you're done?" Like usually, I feel like I'm.
Because you're in that show is
right.
So good. It's so captivating. So
good.
I feel like thank you for the idea, Kaila. You kind of
listen. I'm here to help. For sure. What do you think most people don't know about you? I know you said you're a huge fan of hip hop, which most people may not know. Is there anything else?
I was a ballerina. I trained for 10 years, but I don't claim it because I danced from the age of 7 to 17, like just basically strictly ballet. Other things I dabbled with, like jazz a little bit and occasionally tap, but like ballet was my home. So that's probably another thing. And maybe people know this based on my Instagram at this point, but I have a really strong sweet tooth. I eat candy for breakfast. Loud because I'm an adult, and so nobody can tell me not to, but nobody can tell me what to do. But I have a sweet tooth as well. But I think that's becoming widely known.
And to close here, I want to play a little short game of this or that. I'm going to give you two things. I want you to pick which one you'd rather. Okay. On the airplane, aisle or window seat?
Window. Done.
Okay. Outside or inside?
Ooh, inside.
Okay.
Inside.
Pancakes or waffles?
That's funny. Pancakes. Real plot twist here, but it's pancakes. With the crispy, the edge has got to be crispy.
Right. And lastly, comedy or drama?
Comedy. Come on.
Come on.
Comedy. Yeah.
You know, I had to throw that one in there.
Yeah. Or dramedy wasn't an option, obviously. That was
right. No.
comedy. I got to go comedy. First love.
Awesome. Well, Ego, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was so fun to hang out with you. Thank you.